Again, the for a virus, I told you have to. Today, people are working like SIFA has worked with World Fish and other things. A selective breeding program may have their fifth generation is available because this is related to not to the disease resistance pattern, but this is mostly related to the growth and growth of this Microbacterium rosenbergi. So maybe which can achieved in a faster rate and looking into the environment quality. Then again they have the now the stock is there, and today in the present ministry is trying to introduce again this species because of this species fetch good domestic market. So government is trying to increase the productions in a polyculture mode. Again, this is your freshwater emerging viral diseases. Again, one of the virus maybe you have seen within during the 90s, still it is there, for which your black tiger from Manandan industry was totally wiped out in India. That is white spot syndrome virus. Again, this virus is still predominant, though Manandan industry has been wiped out from the India. It is still in predominant, and when it is infect to the Bhanami culture, if you see, again there is a whitewash. And this is just like a carrier or somewhere it comes or remain in these water bodies, and there is just things comes the more frequently. Today the present Litopinus Manami Industries, which is gaining means your maybe 40,000 crores rupees in export last year, still it is a stake that how to manage again this. So that is white spot syndrome virus. Maybe 90s it comes to India. Maybe the Taiwan, China. This is the country where this is a first occurred. Again, you find that. So therefore, people are making a strategy with the PCR test. Means the seed was tested by the PCR method. Then if it is PCR negative, then they go for the stocking. So similarly, in the Bhanami, maybe there is a Bhanami industry, it is going in the aquaculture. It is SPF stock, specific pathogen free stock. So this SPF stock that was built up for the Bhanami culture is not targeted to white spot. So therefore, when this disease comes, the again Bhanami culture is also at stop. So generally what the Indian farmers used to practice in this means like total chlorination or dechlorination of the pond water before stocking of this. Total first you have to chlorinate means you have a bleaching powder or sodium hypochlorite treatment. Then when there is a total, there is no pathogen will be there. Again you have to wait sometimes. Again you have to go for dechlorination. Generally, maybe use aerations or if you remain for 96 hours, 4 days, the water body become dechlorinated. Then it is ready to stock. Then you go to the hatchery and somewhere get back the stock, and that we can test whether it is a PCR positive or a PCR negative. So then you will bring the PCR negative stock into your culture systems and you go for your stocking. Again, in this process, if only the white spot carrier, latent carrier is there, you will find within 1 month, 30 to 35 days, you will find its expression. If there are some seeds are there, then you will see in the viral infections, maybe within 7 days, the whitewash will occur. Means all the stock that you have stocked, that will be, their mortality will occur. So therefore, you have to, after 1 month, if it is there, stock is remaining. So there is a less chances. Chances are there, but less chances. Or there may be a cross contaminations. Maybe there is belt contamination or the contamination due to migratory the birds that are coming into your pond. So you have to see. Therefore, you have to go for your better management practices and biosecurity also. Biosecurity, putting the bird nest or fencing so that avoiding of the crabs and other things coming to your pond. So this type of strategy, management strategy, you have to adopt so that you will find that there will be no occurrence of the disease into your system. So this is a again proper aeration, water exchange, then daily monitoring of feed intake through the check tray. Then you have to avoid entry of any disease through biosecurity measures. All these aspects you have to look into so that you will not find any of the systems that is occurring in your system. So this is a major systems you have to adopt. Then so that there will be no chance of any disease occurrence. Again, if we go to the system, so these are the some of the viral diseases. Maybe viral diseases research is a big chapter in your study, so we'll deal with later if sometimes permit. But in general, I told you these are the some of the emerging pathogens that are prevalent and have a loss to the stock. Again, if we'll go to the major parasitic diseases that are troubling into the aquaculture systems. You see, parasites sometimes do not go for the absolute mortality in a culture system, but it leads to the morbidity of the systems and your culture systems will be reduced. So that is one of the aspect if you see the parasite in aquaculture ponds, over there, if you are targeting a 5-ton productions, if the parasite infection is there, then there is a loss, maybe a production target will reduce to 4 ton or 3.5 ton. Why? Why? There is a question will come in your mind, why it is? Because when there is infections in a parasite, the physiological functions of the animal or fish will be reducing. Accordingly, the growth rate also hampered. So these parasites may be dwell in gill, liver, kidney, or the external surface of the body that retarded the growth of the fish. So there may be so many parasites. I am not going for a major classification at this stage, bringing a overview of the parasites. Maybe the most troubling parasites maybe you will say Myxosporidian parasite. If you look into the first, that is Myxosporidia tritin, you will see the gill. A whitish mass structure, it will come in the gill. So this whitish mass, maybe the Myxosporidian, so much will be, genus will be there, Myxozoa, then Myxobolus, then Thelohinoleus, so many genus will maybe come in this. But you will see, this is a whitish mass, maybe it is on the gill, or maybe internal also you will find liver, kidney, brain, so many parts, or you can find skin surfaces, or maybe attached to the different your fins also. So this is a whitish mass, it will structure will be there. Again, if you look, then again you can see maybe a small infections, you have to go to the microscopic observations, which intensity infection is more, then you will see there is a whitish mass that are seen on the any surface of the body. But the internal organs, maybe sometimes there is a cyst formation occurs. Cyst formation occurs. So these are the major drawback of the any of these Myxosporidian parasites that are encountered into this. And this Myxosporidian parasite, if you should look into this, and this is a major challenge also, maybe early stages in a fry to fingerling rearing or in the fry stages. And again, if you see, generally in earlier days, what it was practiced, when somebody sell the fry, so they bring into the happa. They aggregated into the happa because they told there should be acclimatization. This is one way of acclimatization. Other way is that there are some parasites that are present if you are going for a crowding. So due to oxygen and other things, those are weak one, there will be a death occurs. So during transportation, mortality could be avoided, and you can find a healthy one that can be leads to the your production systems. So there, if you examine the gills of this parasite, you may find lot of parasite of Myxozoan, maybe some of the Gyrodactylus or Dactylogyrus or Trichodina, Ichthyopteris, or some other parasites, Costia, So these are the some of the parasites that are so early stages, because the nursery pond, our management system is a cow dung manuring other things, and that time large plankton in that process, you find these of the parasites that also grow in the aquaculture ponds. And this growth in the aquaculture ponds can lead to the dominant of the early stages of the parasites in the fish gill and other organs, mostly that are found. So these Myxosporidian parasites that are very lethal to the culture. Maybe your nursery pond, there will be survivability reduces. And then what is your general symptoms? If you go to the parasitic disease symptoms, what you can notice in the parasitic disease symptoms, that is movement of the fish, that is erratic movement. Then they stop feeding, and loss of weight also I told. Then you show scale erosions you will find. Then attachment side, they will be deformative on the attachment sides or in the gill filaments and so on. Then sometimes there is a bulging of eyes. Then gill become opaque and white also sometimes, the coloration of the gill. Then gill sometimes clubbed over mucated gills also. Then body is over mucated, means of mucus slime secretion will be more. Then black color sometimes you'll find some of these helminth parasites, that will be blackening of the fish. Then if will be foul smelling and release of various forms of the bubbles also. Then sometimes, this time sometimes because of oxygen, respiratory problems, you will find the surfacing also. Then if surface, skin surface, I have told you earlier, they rub to some of the microvegetations or hard substratum of the pond. So these are the different types of maybe symptoms you will find. Then maybe different types of parasites. I told you maybe a protozoan parasites or a helminth parasites or a crustacean parasites or maybe acanthocephalian parasites or maybe the leech. So there are my 5 major type of parasites, maybe fish and shrimps. One is your protozoan, another is your helminth, then third one is your crustacean, fourth one is your acanthocephalan, fifth one is your leech. So protozoan parasites may be your ciliates, may be flagellates or myxozoa. So these are the different myxozoa, maybe myxozoa, microsporidia or coccidia. If we will go, the protozoan parasites, one is ciliates parasites, next one is flagellate parasites, third one is myxozoan parasites, fourth one is microsporidian parasites, and fifth one is your coccidian parasites. So these are the, if we see the classification wise, we will deal separately with the basic things. But if we go to these are the things I told, one of the important is your Myxosporidian parasites, that is Myxobolus, that is Myxosoma, all of these. Then another one is your Ichthyophoresis, that is otherwise called also wheeling disease. Ichthyophoresis, if we'll see, what is the symptoms of the ichthyophoresis? Ichthyophoresis symptoms maybe if we'll find, so it is a minute white spot or nodular forms. And if those fish are affected, if we pick in a water, so you will find head down and tail up, they will be just a round swimming behavior, rotational swimming behavior also. Rotational swimming behavior. This is the most important in the case of ichthyophoresis things. So again, if we go to Trichodina. Trichodina, maybe you will find everywhere, maybe skin surface, gill surface, and if you see color of gill become pale, and there is a creminous coating due to excessive mucus secretion or respiratory function also, there will be decrease in the respiratory functions. So these are the some of this if you see for the trichodinosis. Then dactylogyrosis. Dactylogyrosis is a gill fluke. It is called Dactylogarosis is called as gill fluke. Gyrodactylosis is called skin fluke. Dactylogarosis is mostly, you will find it is more specific to Katla also. If you see the culture pond, Katla is dying, Rohu and Mrigal is there. The Rohu is less dying and Mrigal is not dying. Then you will find this is a dactylogarous infection. So if you see, dactylogarous is a gill fluke and dactylogarous is a gill fluke. And if you see, even if somebody buying a katla from the market and you have taken into your house, big katla, and your mom or somebody cooked in your house and you find there is a separations from the muscle from the your bones, and that will be fragmented types, all these things, and you will find there is no blood in this and whitish system is there, and because of these infections, because this is a gill fluke is mostly found in gill and they succumb all the blood, and when the hemoglobin percentage is come down to less than 3, then you will find the fish started dying. Again, what will happen now when you find a dead fish and you examine on the microscope, you will not find this type of parasite. Because when the fish is dead, this parasite dispersed immediately from the fish host and tried to find some attachment. Again, we have did the experiment, the attachment of this parasite. We found in a similar period of maybe 21 days, when in per gill record, the infection goes to 80 to above in case of Katla, whereas maybe 20 in case of Rohu, and maybe 3 to 5 in case of Mrigal. So in a polyculture system, you will find this type of infections and there is a mortality. So that is a, we have validated with a laboratory scale. Okay, are you getting or any difficulties? Hello.
Sir, I have one question.
Hmm.
Sir, is there the difference between the severity of disease caused by these parasite in carp fishes and ornamental fishes?
You see, carp fishes, if you see ornamental fishes, when you go for a culture hobby, you can
Yes,
look
sir.
into individual fish and you can see. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And generally, if you have it is a control environment. Aquarium is a control
Control.
environment. So
Yes,
you
sir.
can pick the fish and study the things what is happening. And you
Yes,
can
sir.
also treat individually the fish.
Yes, sir.
Right? But if
Yes,
you
sir.
go for a pond, yesterday I told pond health, then fish health.
Yes, sir.
Suppose your pond of 1 hectare area, 7,000 fish is there, maybe your 40, 30, 30 ratio of 3 species, or you have a silver carp, grass carp, common carp, again, so each population you see. So you
Yes.
cannot do a treatment for a single species.
Yes, sir.
Treatments, because we have not adopted like a Chinese, because again you will see the cost of the fish. Maybe and maybe the IMC is $1.50
Yes,
fish.
sir.
I mean, Bihar with $3, but in other part you will find it is $1.50 fish.
Yes, sir.
So if it is $1.50, like salmon is a $10. So for the diagnostic they will spend $1. So they don't have anything. But if you have a $1.50 or $2 fish, how much you require for a treatment? So, and everything feed. So you have to calculate. Again, I always tell the people that when you are going, you see your treatment should not be costly because nobody will adopt your treatment.
Yes, sir.
Don't be that much of bookish. First, you'll
Yes,
see what is your stocking in the pond. So we farmer stock 2000 numbers.
yes,
Then if you give 1 year 2000 kg, you will get. Then if you will see your you should have a 50% profit. Then your treatment, feed, everything will be targeted accordingly. Not that you will
yes,
tell you go and treat this thing. Finally, you will find that I have a loss. Again,
yes,
a
yes,
doctor, fish doctor, when he's advising, he should see his treatment should be not that costly.
yes,
So that is that. The severity is your severity. You see, when the infection comes, again your specificity infection. I told na, this Dactylogarus mostly infecting to the
Katla.
Katla population.
Yes, sir.
That is Paradactylogarus species there, because I am not going to in detail in just like your textbook teaching. So in general system, bringing the how the disease chapter will be interesting to all of you. So that is more whole idea is you should develop a interest in this chapter, then other thing will come. So to make you interesting, so I am using some different methodology that based on visual and other things, so that you can have an idea and accordingly you generate interest, and putting attaching some of the aquaculture productions and country scenario. Not I
Yes.
am not going to your basics of this, but the basics and little applied to values. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you,
Anybody
sir.
anything in between?
Sir, one more question.
Hmm.
Hello. Sir, one more question.
हाँ. कौन है बोलिए आप.
Sir, what is the effect of by the disease caused by the ectoparasite like Hirudinaria? And what are the
Ectoparasite,
diseases and
you see, Hirudinaria, other things, generally, in a culture system, we have not experienced that much mortality. Except Argolos. Okay. Except Argolos, some part in
yes,
Myxobolos and some is Dactylogarus. But Hirudinia and other things, we do not find that much loss in the carp culture ponds. Right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody, anything? Then let me finish some more parasite and we can have interactions. Again, if you see, there is a Gyrodactylus. Again, this is a skin cloak. So maybe I have given a picture of ornamental fish, but it also infect in the carp polyculture systems, and mostly it is found in your skin. Again, this comes a crustacean parasite. There are 3 crustacean parasites infecting in the carp culture system, that is Argulus, Lernia and Ergacillus. Argulus, Lernia and Ergacillus. Argulus, that is a crustacean parasites, and you can see in your open eye generally, and it is a otherwise called carp flies. Carp flies. So, and in the salmon, there is also sea lice, but in fish and freshwater fish, it is called carp flies. Then Lernia also, and there is a Ergacillus. Ergacillus is other called gill maggots. And the Argulus is a major menace. If you see in a 1 hectare pond, maybe a 30,000 rupees loss. It is loss has been estimated. And it is why it is every year it is a problem, and the problem last year it was more problematic, and you will find because of this it is a crustacean parasite and lays eggs. It is very difficult to kill the eggs. So there are so many species: Argulus bengalensis, Argulus siamensis, so many species, 5-7 species of Argulus has been reported. But killing eggs is very difficult, and people are working in different aspects. But the treatment is today mostly is based on the pesticide-based treatment. People go for like your ivermectin, ivermectin benzoate, deltamethrin, alpha-methrin, alpha-permethrin, or cypermethrin. Maybe in different trade names and other things. These are being marketed and people go. These are all fourth generation and pesticides, that is synthetic pyrethroid groups that are used for this killing, maybe Argillus, Lernia, Argillus. Ergacillus is also called a gill maggots also. So, and this Lernia is called otherwise a anchor worm. You see how it is being attached to this. So this is a anchor worm and becomes causes a large wound on the surfaces. Again, this is your Argillus. You photograph, show the photograph of Argillus, you see. This Argillus is called fish lice, as told, and you can visualize in your naked eye. Again, there is a gill maggot that is called Ergacillus. It's a crustacean parasites, and this Ergacillus, it will, just like you have seen, they will eat away all of the gill records. Then there will be a respiratory failure, and the fish will die. So these are the crustacean parasites you will see. So generally, what we do, the general treatment, like for parasites, maybe sometimes people use the, because of fresh water, you make a saline little, so sodium chloride bath treatment, 2 to 3% also, till the fish are stressed. Or sometimes also we go for potassium permanganate treatment at 4 mg per liter. Or sometimes we go for the formalin treatment at a rate of 25 ppm or 3 to 5 liter per acre meter water depth. Or sometimes if your individual fish want to do, you can go for a bath treatment of 100 mg per liter also with aerations. These are the common treatment devices that can be used for the parasite. You see, again, this is a, you see, large a single cyst. Gill is totally red in color, you see, healthy, but there is a one whitish spot in the gill, you see. So that is whitish spot on the gill. This is due to your parasitic infestations, that is showing the whitish circular mass on this. Again you see, this is a fish gill. Again, I am showing the pigmentation. You see, this is nothing but a gill fluke infestation. So this is a yellowish color or green color pigment is just like coming. So means there is a gill fluke infestations is there. Again, if you see whitish mass inside, if you dissecting out the blood oozing and other things, it is there. In a kidney, loss of blood supply. So due to these are the parasitic infestations. Okay. So these are the general parasitic infestations. I am not going other parasites like Hirudinea or other parasites, that is mostly in a general interest of your research point of view or from the academic point of view, we'll deal later. All these parasites. But major parasites that are emerging in the systems is because of this. Again, if we'll go to the shellfish, like a prawn, it is isopod infestations. Maybe your Pelagia, bengalensis, other things you will see. These isopods will be in the gill. You will find the major isopods is there, and maybe it will be selling price got affected. Or today, in case of shrimp, you will find slow growth syndrome virus, enterocytogen hepatopancreasis. So these are the systems that are major cause in the parasitic disease in shellfish. So later you come like your fungal disease. So if any doubt in parasitic disease, hello, anybody, anything on parasitic disease? General emerging parasitic diseases. If nothing there, I can tell you just like I told for Argillus. Argillus treatment is, I told you will find ivermectin benzoate or ivermectin. So there is a treatment through water or treatment through feed also, like ivermectin benzoate, ivermectin or ivermectin benzoate, that can be given through the feed. If you are going to cypermethrin, alpha permethrin or deltamethrin, if it is a 10 effective concentration on that, then you can go for 10 EC. Maybe your treatment will be in the process, like you can go to maybe within 15 ml per hectare meter water depth. So you can control this Argillus parasite also. But in other things, it is as per your instructions made on the system. So again, if you are going for an egg and other thing parasite, we always record for 3 treatment, maybe 3 to 5 days interval for this Argillus. Again, I think I have told you in fungal diseases of finfish, there are mostly like epizootic ulcerative syndrome. The causative agent is Phanomyces invatrans. Then saprolegnia, that is Saprolegnia parasitica. It is otherwise called cotton wool disease. Then another one will come your branchiomyces also. Branchiomyces. So these are mostly it is a maybe low water, poor water conditions like pH and other things, DO, which is coming down, and transparency. And these are mostly comes, and ammonia also that triggers this type of fungal infections. And this is your US infection, you can see here. And these are the some of the fungal infection, and I told there is a branchiomyces also. Then instead of shrimp, there may be a Lagendium, and all these fungal infections that are mostly dominated in Indian conditions in fish and shellfish in nature. Again, if we will go to the medicines, maybe you will find lot of medicines are being sold today in a different brand name. Maybe antibiotics you'll find, maybe disinfectant you'll find, antibiotics like micromycin spores to release the streptomycin and tetracycline, streptocycline, levofloxacin, clavum like your amoxicillin, then ciprofloxacins. These are antibiotics still are used in the aquaculture system also. And these are, I told, in East Kolkata, Andhra Pradesh, again, lot of things, other chemical like Isan Aqua, methylene blue, chlorophyphos, Sinar means hypermethrin, then Dursban oil, Hilvan oil. So these are the some of these you will see, you will find in this. Again, water sanitizers like Geolite, probiotics, then like your Biostat companies or FZ4000, Geobiotech, Sunbiotech, and Deltamethrin, you will find it is Sunplus. It's a different name. These medicines are sold in the market also. So again, if we'll see today, so if we'll see these are the disease scenario, then disease scenario is increasing day by day. The country like India do not have regulatory mechanism for use of aquaculture medicines. Then the primary means of administration, how we are adding the water treatment, incorporation feed, or medicated feeds, or by injections. So use of unapproved drugs or misuse of approved drugs in culture fish foods is a potential of human health hazards. Again, if you have seen today, we are talking about One Health program, where animal or veterinary science, fishery science, or human science come together to study the AMR, antimicrobial resistance pattern. See, if this AMR is an issue today, so we have to see what you will eat. Finally, in the world system, your ecosystems or food web systems, anything you put in the environment, finally you will be the eater. Things will come to you. So in the process of maybe a biomagnifications, or maybe some biodegradable component or something residual issues that come into the picture to the finally into the human. So if that is the synergy comes into the systems, we have to more conscious about your primary producers or secondary producers when it comes to the tertiary. So then we have to see all these ecosystems should be well balanced and well maintained and free of all type of residual issues, and that you can live a healthy life. But today's scenario is very different. What you are eating or getting, that is full of contaminants. So there is FSSAI standards, everything is coming into the picture. Okay, then I told that time how to the factor you can consider, means what type of pathogen, and what is the value of fish, then what is the legal considerations, then cost of treatment, then mode of treatment, what is the mortality rate. Suppose 0.1% mortality, you don't allow that. You tell the water exchange other things, don't ask them to use for the medicine. Then what are the environmental variables responsible for this? Then what are the other factor, marketing, so factors. Then prior to treatment, what are the factors you want to study? What are the diseases? Then which agent you are applying, the pharmacokinetics of these things. Then species under treatment. Then what are the again environmental conditions while you are treating the fish. So these are the factors that you have to remember while treating the fish also. Any doubt? Anything? Anybody having doubt at this stage? Hello? Are you listening?
Students, if you have any doubt, you can ask questions.
No.
Sorry, 1 hour is boring, bored. All of you bored for listening lecture. Disease lecture for 1 hour. Hello? Hello? Not audible. Again. Hello? If nothing is there, quickly I can tell you something like approved aquaculture drugs by FDA, by US FDA. Maybe a formalin is being in different trade name, it is being approved. Or maybe if we'll see some of the chlorophenicol or oxytetracycline or tetramycin R200 or oxymarine means oxytetracycline, HCl soluble powder, then terramycin also, then hydrogen peroxide, sulfamethoxyrin, Romet 30R. So these are the some of these approved aquaculture drugs that you find besides your probiotics, other things that are used. So these are the some of these approved aquaculture drugs that can be used, and there are a lot of even I think you have all introduced a maybe fish medicine course also, there you can find. But this is in general overall view that is the Indian disease scenario, where you can find out lot of these are the emerging pathogens that are being played for the growth of aquaculture industries in the country. So these are the things I have given in a overall scenario quickly to all of you, and this may cater some of your syllabus, but according to your syllabus will take some days. Which one chapter do you you have interest, or you want to know more? So accordingly that if you send me, I can teach you that topic also some more days. Maybe somewhere in the next week, Monday, if we'll see if the lockdown condition retain, we can have, right?
Yes, sir. So there's this point written type A medicated article. So what are type A medications?
Where it is written? Type A medicated articles. So
yes,
you
sir.
see, this is a, if we'll say terramycin R, okay?
Yes,
Terramycin R200 for fish, that is oxytetracycline dihydrate. This is known as a type 1, but type A medicated. In a FDA, it is written as a type A and first choice for the medication. Okay.
So,
Because
and
when
so
you
this,
legislation
sir.
other things, na? So that
Yes,
just
sir.
like Article 376 of Indian constitutions, when it comes, they mention it is a priority type A medicated articles. Okay.
Okay, sir. And so this HCl soluble powder, so will it affect the water quality because HCl?
HCl soluble powder 343 is a trade name. It is a powder like antibiotics and other things in nature. So it will not affect the water quality.
Okay, sir.
Because of soluble in water, it will quickly act. Therefore, it is a soluble powder in water.
Okay, sir.
Anything?
Sir,
Anybody?
yes, sir. From the research point of view, I have a question, sir, regarding the culture method of some common parasites like Argillus, as you
Hmm.
were involved with the Argillus culture as well in CIFA, sir. So Argillus
Hmm.
and Gyrodactylus, how can we do, sir?
You see, that is a cohabitation method. Suppose
Okay.
you know Argillus, if we put in a indoor culture systems, 500 liter, you know the infective stage of Argillus,
Yes.
and that much size. Suppose if we take a fry and fingerling and put it, then it will not get infection. There is a less intensity. Now 50 gram size of fish, roe you are putting, and putting some Argillus infected fish, then you will see there is, after few days, there is a co-infection occurs. Okay. Similarly, we put a parasite. So we put a cultra 50 to 60 grams. Then we take a gill parasites. Huh? Then we infect, put in this water. Then it is getting infected. So this type you have to develop some of the in vitro systems. Maybe in the same year we put like your cohabitation like Rohu, Katla, Mrigal infected with this. We see the same period. What is the intensity of infection also? So again, first you have to see same species where you have isolated. Maybe the age group is little higher. Then you infect it. Then you see that early stage other things. But initially you have to see in the, suppose in a pond you are finding this is year class is group infection there. So you try to a year class of this much size and try for the infection. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, nowadays the agency that is involved with the certification and approval of aquaculture drugs is the Coastal Aquaculture Authority.
CAA is given the CAA, Coastal Aquaculture Authority.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just I was trying to confirm that.
CAA.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
MPDA is given all this registration of antibiotics, other things.
Okay,
MPDA.
MPED also.
Right?
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Students, if you have any question, you can ask to sir. So you will get the information.
Sir, are the viral diseases that we see today, like COVID, is it transmittable? Is it possible that it can transmit from fishes to humans?
You see, do you know what is the history of COVID-19?
Sorry, sir.
Do you know what is the history of COVID-19? This virus
No,
was
sir.
in 1960s also.
Okay, sir.
You study it, 1960s. It was initially transmitted from reptiles and other animals.
Okay, sir.
And because
Yes,
of this, again, this is a mutated strain of COVID-19. And
yes, sir.
people also would say different strains in India and other part, different strains is coming. So it is very frequently showing the mutations and variations in the regions. So I cannot at this point tell you whether it will transmit from fish. All of you see that for tiger has detected with COVID, right? Maybe
Yes, sir.
3 days. So maybe it was reptiles, maybe it was there. So when there is be maybe in which species it will go, and there will be maybe death and something will happen again, it has to be studied properly.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And don't be panic that when you eat fish, it will go, COVID will go, come to you. Because the
Yes.
temperature when at what you are cooking, see you are only the handling process. Suppose if fisherman sells is infected with the COVID cells, the fish, that may be the surface will be transmitted to you because it will go to your kitchen if you have not handled properly. So there may be, but it is not that the fish will be a carrier. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You
Yes,
have
sir.
no air, 8 hours in the air also remain. The container everywhere people are stored.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
If
Thank
nothing
you,
is
sir.
there, thank you. Thank you for patience hearing for last 3 days. Okay. We may see if lockdown continue maybe next week because today we have another video conferencing with the ICR around 3 o'clock. Okay.
Thank you once again, sir, for your valuable contribution to our students through video conferencing. So if nobody having questions, then we can end this session.
Sir, may I ask one last question? Sir?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sir, for viruses, what type of genetic material do we find in fishes that those viruses cause? Like they have DNA, RNA, or protein. What are the prominent genetic material that we find in the disease cause?
Virus, you see, past virus is maybe a DNA virus or a RNA virus. Okay, genetic material
Okay,
is
sir.
DNA and RNA. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose it is a DNA virus, you have to go for isolation of DNA. If a RNA
Okay,
virus, you will go for isolation of RNA. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes,
Then
sir.
you to maybe there are so many methods. Go for cell culture method. Study the cytopathic effect, infectivity studies. Then if you can identify the virus, you can for densitometric purifications. Then you go for electron microscopic or confocal microscopy studies. Or if you don't know anything from there, DNA, then you see what type of virus that one. Then again comes for the sequencing other things. You have to run the what is the fragment, then what is the sequence pattern, whole genome sequence. Then you design primer for certain region amplifications. Then you go
Yes,
for
sir.
identification.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that is a big chapter. Okay, for
Yes,
second
sir.
year it not there. Second year is a type of virus, RNA virus, capsid, capsomere, what is the core protein, what is the RNA virus type of DNA virus. If you have a book of like Robert, you will find a chapter there. You will find detail also. R.J. Roberts.
Okay, sir.
Pathology
Yes.
by R.J. Roberts. Okay,
Okay,
that
sir.
is your
Yes,
text
sir.
and syllabus is from there. Most of the things. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. All good wishes. Stay healthy. Stay at home. Away from COVID-19. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.